All right, let's jump right in. We're about to tackle a biological mystery that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's this incredible puzzle that puts the biggest animals on Earth up against one of the deadliest diseases we know.
And it all starts with a really simple question. But the answer is, well, it's pretty wild. Think about it. Shouldn't bigger animals be more likely to get cancer? It seems logical, right? But when you actually look at the giants of the animal kingdom, you realize the math it doesn't add up at all. Okay, so let's zoom in on our main character here, the blue whale. I mean, this is the largest animal that has ever existed on this planet, a true monster of the deep. And it turns out this incredible creature holds the key to a huge biological paradox. Just to give you a sense of scale, a blue whale has something like 3,000 times more cells than a person. And let's be clear, that's not 3,000 extra cells. It's 3,000 times the trillions of cells that make you, you. It's a number that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Okay, so here's the basic rundown on how cancer works, right? Every single time one of your cells divides, there's a tiny, tiny chance something goes wrong, a mutation. And some of those mutations can kickstart cancer. So the logic is simple. More cells means more cell divisions, which should mean way, way more chances for cancer to pop up. So if you think of every cell division as a lottery ticket for cancer, then whales are basically buying quadrillions of tickets every single day. They should be winning that terrible lottery all the time. But they're not. So let's really dig into why this is such a mind-blowing paradox. The numbers here are just insane. We have around 37 trillion cells. A blue whale, it's estimated to have 100 quadrillion. With that many cells, you'd expect them to be absolute cancer magnets. I mean, they should be covered in tumors, dying from it left and right. And yet, they get cancer at roughly the same rate we do. How is that possible?
This huge mismatch between what should happen and what actually happens, well, it has a name. It's called Peto's paradox. And for decades, it has left scientists scratching their heads, wondering how these massive animals are pulling this off. So, what's the secret? Did evolution just hand them some kind of biological superpower, like a perfect cancer-proof shield that we could only dream of? Well, the real answer is so much weirder, and honestly, it's kind of beautiful in a strange way. See, the secret isn't that whales are totally immune to cancer. Nope, it's that they've evolved a system where cancer basically takes care of itself. It's like having an enemy that grows inside your enemy. And this brings us to the star of our show, the hyper-tumor. It's literally what it sounds like. It's a tumor of a tumor, a cancer that grows inside another cancer. This isn't your typical defense system. It's more like a civil war at the cellular level. So here's the big reveal. Whales probably do get tumors starting all the time. But, and this is the key, before those tumors can get big enough to cause any real harm, they get attacked from the inside. They're betrayed by their own, even more aggressive cellular offspring. Okay, so how does this actually work? How does a tumor end up hosting its own killer, its own parasite, that leads to its downfall?
Well, it plays out in a few steps. First, you get a regular tumor. It starts growing. But because it's growing so fast and it's so unstable, its cells are just ripe for more mutations. Eventually, one of those cells mutates again, and it becomes a hyper-tumor cell. Think of it as a super cheater. This new hyper-aggressive cancer goes nuts, hogging all the resources, stealing all the blood supply from the original tumor. And what happens? The parent tumor starves and collapses. The whole thing just implodes before it ever becomes a danger to the whale. There's a great way to put it. The most selfish cells are ultimately betrayed by even more selfish cells. And that's exactly what this is. Cancer, at its core, is all about selfish growth. A hypertumor just takes that selfishness to the next level, and in doing so, it destroys its own foundation. It's like a self-destruct mechanism built right into the cancer's own greed. So, okay, a tumor inside a tumor solves a cool paradox in whales. That's amazing. But so what? What does this mean for us? Why should we care about this bizarre cellular drama?
Well, what we're seeing here is one of nature's most ingenious solutions to a deadly problem. The goal isn't to stop cancer from ever forming. It's to manage it by letting it burn itself out. And that opens up a whole new way of thinking for cancer research. I mean, what if we could figure out how to kickstart this process in humans? What if we could turn cancer's biggest strength, its out-of-control, selfish mutation, into its greatest weakness?
And that really leaves us with a mind-blowing question to think about. What if, instead of just trying to poison cancer with chemo,
we could one day unleash these traitor cells inside our own tumors. It's a radical idea for sure, but it goes to show that sometimes the best solutions aren't about building a stronger wall. They're about learning how to turn your enemy against itself.